Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever have surprised us once again.
Pressure all game. Clark, a problem for Canada there. But when she gets separation, it's not a problem.
Picture this, third quarter, Fever down 16 points to the Atlanta Dream. Many teams would throw in the towel, but not this Fever squad. With just 4 minutes on the clock, the magic started to happen. Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation, drains a three that makes the arena shake. ALIYAH Boston, dominating the boards like it's her backyard. Kelsey Mitchell, finding her rhythm at the perfect moment. And suddenly, the unthinkable happens. The game goes to overtime. In overtime, the Fever showed why they're the breakout team of the season. Clark and Boston working in perfect sync, like they were reading each other's minds. The result? A breathtaking 104-100 victory. But let's go beyond the numbers, because this win represents so much more. ALIYAH Boston was simply phenomenal. A double-double of 30 points and 13 rebounds that gave Dream fans nightmares. Her efficiency on offense, hitting 11 of 16 shots, was complemented by a defensive presence that intimidated anyone who dared come near the paint. Kelsey Mitchell proved once again why she's considered one of the leaders of this team. With 21 points and 50% shooting from the field, she kept her cool in the tensest moments, guiding the team when the pressure seemed unbearable. And we can't forget Lexi Hull. She contributed 12 crucial points, including 4 three-pointers that opened up vital spaces in the Dream's defense. Hull showed that the Fever have weapons for every moment of the game. But the star that shone brightest was, without a doubt, Caitlin Clark. With 26 points and 12 assists, she proved once again why she's considered not just one of the best rookies, but one of the best players in the league. Period. What's really impressive about Clark isn't just her numbers, but her ability to elevate the game of everyone around her. Speaking of Clark, we can't ignore the news that impacted the Rookie of the Year race. Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky suffered a wrist injury that prematurely ended her season. Clark, showing the class of a true champion, lamented her rival's injury. It's definitely sad whenever you see anyone go down with an injury, especially people that you came into this league with, Clark said. You want to see her finish out this year. Obviously, she's had a historic year and she's done some incredible things. Clark continued praising Reese. For me, getting to play against her motor is up there, if not the best in the league. She just doesn't stop working. I thought she had a tremendous year. I thought she came into the league and really did what she's done well her entire career as long as I've known her. It's really devastating. It's never anything you want to see from a player. These words show not only the mutual respect between these young stars, but also the sportsmanship that makes the WNBA such a special league. Going back to the epic game against the Dream, let's talk about that magical third quarter. Down 16 points, the Fever could have given up, but that's when the magic happened. It all started with defense. The Fever tightened their defense as if their lives depended on it, forcing the Dream to make mistakes they didn't even believe possible. The numbers don't lie. In the last quarter, the Dream converted only 33.3% of their field goal attempts, while the Fever hit an incredible 58.8%. This defensive turnaround was the foundation of the comeback. Boston was the pillar of this turnaround. Besides her absurd offensive production, she dominated the rebounds like a true titan of the courts. Her 5 offensive rebounds were like adrenaline shots for the team, giving the Fever second chances on offense and limiting the Dream's opportunities. Mitchell took control in the most crucial moments, scoring 6 vital points in the last quarter, including free throws that forced overtime. Her calmness under pressure was a reminder of why she's considered one of the leaders of this team. And Clark, while she proved her worth as the maestro of this show, dishing out 5 assists in the final quarter, creating opportunities for her teammates when the pressure was at its peak. Her court vision and ability to read the game were simply phenomenal. In overtime, we saw the true character of this Fever team. Outscoring the Dream 14-10, they demonstrated a lethal combination of calm under pressure and precise execution that would make any veteran proud. Boston continued her absolute dominance, scoring 6 crucial points that seemed to break the Dream's spirit. Clark, even facing shooting difficulties, showed maturity by contributing in other ways, with 2 important assists and 4 essential free throws that sealed the victory. We can't forget to mention Temi Fagbenle, who came off the bench to make vital contributions in overtime. Her field goal and defensive rebound proved the value of the Fever's depth, showing that this team has weapons for all moments. What's most impressive about this overtime is the maturity shown by such a young team. There was no panic, no rushed plays. It was a demonstration of growth and confidence from a team that's evolving before our eyes, game after game. This victory isn't just another W in the column. With this result, the Fever improved their record to 19 wins and 17 losses, solidifying their position in the playoffs. But the most impressive part, in the last 10 games, the Fever have an 8-2 record. They're catching fire at the most important moment of the season. This victory over the Dream, a team that has been giving several league teams trouble recently, is a clear warning. The Fever isn't here just to participate in the playoffs. They came to make an impact. The chemistry between Clark and Boston is evolving with each game, becoming one of the most feared duos in the league. Combining for 56 points in this game, they proved they can be any opponent's nightmare in the playoffs. And with Kelsey Mitchell as the third piece of this offensive puzzle, the Fever have a trio that can cause headaches even for the most experienced teams. The Fever's success isn't going unnoticed in the rest of the league. At the beginning of the season, many saw this team as Caitlin Clark's team, and nothing more. Now, they're proving to be a complete and balanced threat, forcing other teams to rethink their strategies. From the league's perspective, the Fever's success is great news. Caitlin Clark's presence was already increasing interest in the WNBA, and now that her team is having success, this could translate into higher viewership and fan engagement during the playoffs. Arenas are packed, media coverage is increasing, and the buzz around the league is at its highest level in years. For the teams at the top of the standings, the Fever now represents a real threat. Nobody will want to face this young and confident team in the first round of the playoffs. This could lead to an interesting race for positioning in the last weeks of the regular season. However, it's not all roses on the Fever's path. Recently, concerns have arisen about Caitlin Clark's physical safety on the court. Former NBA star Joakim Noah even suggested that the Fever should hire a protector for Clark, citing the number of hard fouls she has been receiving. "If I was the owner of the Indiana Fever, I would hire a real protector to protect her," Noah said. Clark has been the target of 16% of the flagrant fouls committed in the entire WNBA this season, an alarming number that raises questions about how to protect the league's stars without compromising the intensity of the game. But let's not kid ourselves. The road to the title is still long and full of obstacles. Every remaining game in the regular season is crucial for playoff positioning. The Fever will face teams desperate for a spot and others trying to secure home court advantage. There will be no easy game from here on out, and when we get to the playoffs, that's when things really heat up. The Fever will face more experienced teams that already know what it's like to play a playoff series. The pressure will be immense, and we'll see if this young team can maintain its composure in the most decisive moments. The big question is, does this young Fever team have what it takes to surprise the league and make a deep playoff run? Or will inexperience weigh heavily when the games get even tougher? One thing is certain. The Indiana Fever's upcoming games will be breathtaking. Every possession, every shot, every decision can change the course of the season, and we'll be here, following every moment of this exciting journey. The Fever is no longer just a cool underdog story. They are a real threat, a team that nobody wants to face in the playoffs. With Clark breaking records, Boston dominating the boards, and the rest of the roster elevating their game, who knows how far this team can go? But what do you think about all this? Does the Fever have what it takes to surprise in the playoffs? Will Clark and Boston maintain this absurd level of play when the pressure increases? And what do you think about Kelsey Mitchell's evolution this season? Is the WNBA doing enough to protect its stars, like Clark, from potentially dangerous plays? Or is this part of the game and players need to adapt? Leave your guesses in the comments. If you're as excited as I am about this WNBA homestretch, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll have analyses of all the important games, discuss the best plays, and debate who's going to take the title this year. Turn on the notification bell too. That way, you won't miss any video about the playoffs. This WNBA season is being historic, and you won't want to miss any moment. And if you liked this video, leave that like. It helps the channel grow a lot and allows more WNBA fans to find our content. Together, we can make the WNBA fan community grow even more. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.